All right, good morning and welcome to Akmas General Insurance Agency Daily Dose of Sales Caffeine on Facebook. And we are live. Now, this learning session is brought to you by Akma Academy, where we share knowledge and skills development for professionals in the insurance industry. So today's topic will be, financial planning made easy, part two. Okay, I'm your trainer for today, Coach Banjo Acuna. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope I'm very audible for today. And I like to read Psalm 138. I will give you thanks with all my heart. I will sing praises you before the gods. I will bow down toward your holy temple and give thanks to your name for your loving kindness and your truth. For you have magnified your word according to all of your name. On the day I called, you answered me. You made me bold with strength in my soul. All the kings of the earth will give thanks to you, O Lord, when they have heard the words of your mouth, and they will sing of the ways of the Lord. For great is the glory of the Lord. For though the Lord is exalted, yet he regards the lowly, but the haughty he knows from afar. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you will revive me. You will stretch forth your hand against the wrath of your enemies, and your right hand will save me. And verse 8, the Lord will accomplish what concerns me. Your loving kindness, O Lord, is everlasting. Do not forsake the works of your hands. Let's pray. Father, we just like to thank you for this wonderful Tuesday morning that you have given us, O God. May we continue to give praise and give thanks, Lord, for what you have done from the past week. Lord, in this coming week, may we just continue to ask, Lord, for blessing us and continue, Lord, um, to lift us up all, even to our iniquities, our problems, our hurdles, our troubles, and just Lord, we can call upon your name. May we give you thanks, O Lord, and the Holy Spirit continue to guide us, Panginoon, with this time. This is our prayer in Jesus' mighty name. Amen and amen. All right. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, this will be our part two from yesterday's learning. So our topic for today is financial planning made easy, part two. Okay, so I hope nasubaybayan niyo po ako yesterday. And what we have learned from yesterday is that we have seen ano ba yung mga naging challenges natin, tayong mga Pilipino, kung bakit hindi tayo nakakapag-ipon, kung hindi bakit hindi tayo nakakausad, no? Nakita rin natin kahapon, out of the 144 countries, no, we are at the bottom 30 with regards with financial literacy. Okay, and then syempre dahil maraming factors ang mga nangyayari. Due to lack of knowledge, due to syempre inflation, due to the culture na kinagagalawan natin, pinaniniwalaan natin, even through experience, yun ang mga yun din ang mga nangyayari. Okay, and then we have things that we're being reminded of na gamitin na tayo po ay gumamit ng tayo po ay magplano, okay, using SMART goals, and that would be very much effective. Okay, so we have recently told everyone that we gave three crucial steps or basic steps towards financial independence. Okay, so nauna na po yung kahapon, know what you want. Okay, know what you want. So at least alam natin kung ano yung gusto natin. Ibig sabihin, ano ba yung pwede nating pagplanuhan. Okay, so there would be short goals that would be like 6 months to 1 year. There will be medium goals, okay? So short term from 1 year to 5 years siguro yan. And then long term goals 6 years and onward. So maganda rin talaga na meron tayong pinagpaplanuhan lalo na with regards with uh, our finances. So yun ang nakikita natin. Then we have introduced also, okay, yung short worksheet para at least malaman natin that we can always plan. Okay, maganda naman talaga na nagpaplano po talaga tayo. And at the same time, merong direksyon ang buhay natin. 'Di ba? Yun po ang pinakamaganda. Okay, so, well, enough of that. We hope and we pray na matapos natin itong part 2 ng ating financial planning made easy. All right? So for those who are in the chat box tuloy for those in the Zoom, okay, you can use our chat box kung meron kayong mga questions and hopefully meron tayong masagot po natin on time, if you have time. All right, and for those who are in Facebook Live, shout out sa mga kaakma, sa mga classmates natin, and we're ready to go for this morning. All right, so second step would be know what you have. Okay, in the context of financial planning, know what you have refers to going a comprehensive understanding of your current financial situation. Okay, dapat at least alam natin kung nasaan tayo. No, it involves taking stock of our assets, our liabilities, income, expenses, and overall net worth. No, by knowing what you have, you can make informed decisions and develop strategic plan to manage our finances effectively and achieve our financial goals. Okay, knowing what you have provides, a solid foundation for financial planning. It enables us to, alam niyo yun, ma-identify natin yung areas of improvement, no? Makapag-set tayo ng realistic goals, ma-allocate natin yung resources natin effectively and make informed decisions regarding budgeting, saving, investing, and debt management and risk mitigation. No, parang mouthful po nun eh. Pero kung iisa-isahin po natin yan, magiging madali po yung buhay natin. Now, this knowledge empowers us to create a personal financial roadmap that aligns with our aspiration and help us achieve long-term financial success. Okay, so quiz time. So mahilig tayong magpa-ask ng mga questions na ganito. Now, what is your most valuable physical asset? Okay? What is your most valuable physical asset? Is it letter A, your beautiful house? Okay, whether it's a townhouse, condominium, basta bahay mo ang tinitiran mo presently. At sa'yo yun, ha? Okay, letter B, your income. Si a 15 a 30. Okay, your pinagpawisan, pinaghirapan, dugo at pawis na income. No? Is that your valuable physical asset? Next, your jewelries. Okay, yung mga burloloy sa leeg, sa mga kamay, sa katawan natin. Okay, jewelry, your diamonds, your gold necklace, your branded jewelries. Yan. Is it your valuable physical asset or your car? Okay, yung iyong if you have a sports car, wow, di ba? If you have your SUV, wow. If you have your sedan, okay, ang iyong kotse ba ang iyong most valuable physical asset? What would be your answer? Can somebody answer in the chat box sa mga nasa Zoom? Okay, shout out sa mga nasa Zoom. All right? But ang pinakasagot natin, our most valuable physical asset right now is your income. Why is income our most important asset? Ngayon, yun ang pinag-uusapan natin. Income is often considered the most important asset as it is the primary source of funds for individuals to cover their expenses and achieve their financial goals. Kasi ito yung pinaghirapan natin, pinagtatrabuhan natin. So eventually, we have income. Now, without a steady stream or source of income, it becomes difficult to sustain one's lifestyle and meet financial obligation. Yung mahirap nun eh, no? And additionally, no, yung sweldo natin or income natin can be used to invest in other assets, no, such as real estate, stocks, no, which can further increase one's wealth over time. Now, therefore, it is important to protect and grow one's income through how? Una po, education. No, at least yung pinagtapos natin from college, usually ito yung nagiging passion natin, nagiging trabaho natin when it comes to education. Next, syempre yung career development natin, our passion with our work. So it depends kung it's a white-collar job or blue-collar job, kung pagigihan natin itong trabaho natin na ito, okay, babalik naman siya sa atin. Di ba? We can go on a higher level position. O, tayo po ay napopromote, tumataas po rin ang ating income. And next, syempre, wise financial plan. So kailangan po natin yan para paano natin mapapagplanuhan or aayusin ang ating finances. Okay, so that is our most valuable physical asset. Now, sharing again, ang ating malaman natin kung anong meron po tayo. We want to know and check how much our net worth is right now. Or, you know, even, Banjo, kailangan ko ba i-check? Coach Banjo, kailangan ko ba i-check yan? Kahit na ang meron lang ako is my laptop, my computer, my wallet, my watch, and everything. Wala na akong ibang fiscal valuable asset kasi nagre-rent lang kami, yung kotse ko, pahiram lang ng company, etc., etc. No, guys, this is important para malaman natin kasi kung ano pa yung kailangan natin i-goal. Okay, so to gain clarity in what we have, it is important to assess our assets, no? Determine the value of our cash, investments, real estate, retirement accounts, and any other valuable possessions on or holdings that we own. No, evaluate our, syempre, second, yung liabilities natin, yung mga pagkakautang natin. We should identify and quantify our debts, including mortgages, including loans, credit card balance, or any other financial obligations we owe. O baka tayo ay meron pang loan sa mga nagpa 5-6 or loan sharks, isama natin. Huwag natin ikahiya because nandyan na yan eh. Kumbaga, pumasok tayo sa sitwasyon na to dahil meron tayong mga matitinding pangangailangan. But then again, that is really important kasi hindi natin dapat takbuhan yung mga liabilities natin or yung loans, no? Then, let's analyze our income. Calculate our regular income from employment. Okay? Siyempre kung saan tayo nagtatrabaho, from our business, if you have any side hustle or business that is on hand, okay, or any investments na meron tayo ngayon, or any other sources of revenue, basta yung kumikita tayo, whether it's an allowance, income, business, okay, inuulit ko lang, so basta any other sources of revenue, okay. Then we will track our expenses, no? Understanding our spending habits by keeping our record of our monthly expenses. You know, we should categorize and review our spending patterns to identify areas where we can cut back or optimize. Now, kagandahan po nun, at least, magandang tip po ito. If you have a tickler or if you have your Excel sheet, no, you can track down your spending every day for the next 3 months. Okay, yun po yung parati kong sinishare sa mga friends or mga clients ko on order to track their spending habits. Okay, kumbaga, in a day, kunyari, today is Tuesday. Ibig sabihin, ano yung mga ginagastos ko within the day? Like, kunyari, nagpa-deliver ako ng Shopee, binayaran ko si Shopee ng sabihin natin 1,500 kasi may binili ako item. And then binigyan ko ng tip si Kuya Rider ng 100. Okay, then ang gagawin ko, okay, susulat ko kagad yon 1,500 for my Shopee, 100 tip for ano. And then lumabas ako, namasahe ako, nag-tricycle jeep, tapos nag-McDonald's ako, kumain ako. Okay, gumastos ako ng 500 for transportation and McDo. Okay? So, even at the end of the day, calculate it, and then malalaman ko, okay, gumastos pala ako ng 3,000 today with all of these stuff na aking binayaran. So, every day yan. Every day, monthly. Okay? Lahat ng gastos na ginamit ko. And then, end of the day, you add it. End of the month, you add it. Okay, then makita mo kung saan ka ngayon mas malaking mag-spend. Okay, so usually ang sinasabi ng mga clients ko, ang pinakamalaking spending nila is eating or eating out, so sa pagkain. Okay, so syempre hindi naman mas mahal dahil ang tawag dito, kumbaga it's your money and ang masama doon if kung wala kang control in spending, your spending habits, lalo na doon. Siguro, kailangan lang maging aware tayo, and at the same time, okay, kailangan lang na talagang pag-igihan din natin, okay, on how we do it. And then, aside, going back sa net worth natin, calculate your whole net worth, and then by subtracting our total liabilities from our total assets, then we can determine our net worth, now, which provides a snapshot of our overall financial position. Okay, so yun po yun. At least alam natin kung magkano ba ang ating net worth, no? So, syempre, dapat hindi yan talaga na negative. Okay, so, enough of that seat work. Dahil kinalculate na natin yan, at least alam naman natin ngayon, even on top of our mind, no? So, at least makita natin our assets and our liabilities, and then when we subtract them, that will be our net worth. All right, so, nandito naman na tayo ngayon sa part na ito, which is what is saving and budgeting. Now, let's take a step closer in knowing why people sometimes miss the mark. No, it's all about having the right knowledge on what to do. Let's start with the very beginning. It is knowing what to do with your most important asset. Okay? That is, we should save. Saving. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng saving? It refers to the act of setting aside a portion of one's income or resources for future use, no? Rather than spending it immediately. Kasi minsan alala ko yung mga classmate ko nung college. Magkano baon mo? Magkano baon mo? Ako nung college, 1997, first year college, ang baon ko 100. Okay? So, syempre dahil my school is near to my house, so nakakapag-ipon ako ng konti. So, minsan yung mga classmate ko, tara, ubusin na natin yung baon mo kasi bibigyan naman tayo kinabukasan. Sabi ko, wow. So, sabi ko, gusto ko sabihin, anak mayaman ka kasi. Okay, kami ang magulang ko, middle income earners na. But kidding aside, sinasabi lang din natin, no? As on the early onset, at least matuto na tayo mag-save. Bilang gusto ko sabihin, no? Na I don't want to spend my money in, hindi naman useless things, but why spend when you can save? Nga yung sinasabi parati ba? Why spend when you can save? Yeah, well, saving, it involves intentionally preserving money or other valuable assets with the objective of building a financial safety net. Meaning, magkaroon tayo ng emergency money. Okay, saving. Achieving specific financial goals. May mga goals tayo, pinag-iipunan tayo, di ba? Or making investments in the future. Now, pag sinabi natin savings, okay, it is a fundamental financial practice that promotes financial stability. No, it also promotes resilience and the ability to meet both short-term and long-term financial needs. Now, very, very technical, di ba? Ibig sabihin lang nito, mag-ipon ka, ipunin mo ang pera mo for the future. Okay? Yun po yung saving. Okay, now, in this next picture na nakikita natin, di ba? This is the usual thing that we do, no? Lalo na tayong karamihan ng mga Pilipino. Di ba? Paglabas ng sweldo natin, minus our expenses, ang matira ay ang ating savings. Tama, di ba? So, income, lumabas yung sweldo, babayaran na natin yung mga hindi naman pinagkakautangan, our bills, okay, mga si Meralco, si Wi-Fi, si Nawasa, grocery, tawag dito, baon ng mga bata, okay, rent, etc., etc., etc. Okay, and then yung matira, that will be our savings. Diba? Yun yung usual na iniisip natin. Okay, so again, savings refer to the act of setting aside as a portion of one's income or resources again for future use. Yun yung sinasabi natin, di ba? Now, let us look at this equation. Again, income minus expense equals to savings. Now, yung sinasabi nating formula na income, okay, is not necessarily mali. Kasi usually, yun nga eh. But it's not necessarily right din. Okay, it implies that savings are solely dependent on how much money is left after expenses. Yung in-explain natin kanina. Unexpected expenses can arise. Minsan talaga dumarating eh, lalo na pag wala tayong naitabi. And it is also very difficult for us to save if our income exceeds our expenses. So yung formula na ito can be a starting point of for our budgeting, and it should not be relied upon as the sole determination for savings. And kasi nga it can lead also to negative. Now, kung ititweak lang po natin ang formula na ito, dahil alam nga natin na mali siya, di ba? Because again, let us look at this equation again, no? Income minus expense is equals to savings. Now, the formula income, okay, minus expense is equals to savings. Now, it implies that savings are, again, dependent on our expenses. Wala kasi talaga tayong mahihita dyan, no, for that, wow, that word. But if we tweak, no, that formula, we can do this. This is the ideal way to save. Picture this. We are a young professional, and it's been 2 years since we have graduated from college. We have put all in the hours into our job. Payday has come and gone each month, and so have the Christmas bonuses, mga gastos and everything. Grabe, malapit na mag-Christmas daw. Meanwhile, syempre, yung bank account natin is barely maintaining balance. Our savings are small to non-existent. Sabihin talagang walang-wala. Just as you were unemployed as a fresh graduate. Grabe yung example natin. So many people tend to follow the first equation, income minus expenses equals to savings. Now, wherein the amount left after we spend our money goes into savings. However, okay, most often than not, there is really nothing left to save. Kasi nga, nagastos na natin yung principal na idea doon. Usually, it comes to the negative. Now, the idea is to follow the income minus savings is equals to expenses. Now, it requires us to develop that discipline. Ulayin ko to develop that discipline to save first before spending. Now, totoo yun. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Okay? When we set aside money from the get-go, the magic happens. We learn to work with the money we have while the rest is safely stored in our savings. Again, inuulit ko, pay yourself first. Now, it is a principle in personal finance that emphasizes the practice of prioritizing saving and investing before allocating money towards other expenses. Magtabi ka muna. It involves setting aside a predetermined portion of our income or say for savings or investments as soon as we receive again yung sweldo natin. Rather than saving what is left over after spending. Kasi sa totoo lang, wala tayong maiipon doon. And the idea behind paying yourself first is that by taking care of our future financial well-being before addressing other expenses, we build a strong foundation for long-term financial security and wealth accumulation. Now, it encourages us or it gives us the discipline, financial responsibility, and ability to overcome the temptation of excessive spending. Magtabi ka muna. Again, pay yourself first. Now, Coach Banjo, ano bang best way para makapag-ipon tayo? So ako, parati kong sinasabi, the best way is at least 10% of what you're getting from your income. 10%. Paglabas ng sweldo mo, 10% itabi mo na. Okay? So pagkatabi mo na neto, okay, ang kagandahan niyan, syempre, is, ano ba? Nakapag-ipon ka na. Okay, and after saving, okay, ang kagandahan din noon ay at least meron ka ng disiplina sa sarili mo kung paano ka makapag-ipon. All right? So, paano pag sinabing, Coach Banjo, hindi ko pa kaya yung 10%. Ang dami ko pang liabilities or pinabayaran. Okay, if you can save like 500 per payday, 500 per payday, kaya mo ba yon? Sabi niya, I think yes, kaya ko mag-save ng 500 per payday. Then do it. Now, nyari, every month, kaya mo mag-ipon. Taasan natin after saving 500, how about kaya mo na bang itaas yan to 800? And after 3 months, Coach, kaya ko na magtabi ng 1,000, 1,500 every payday. Then do it hanggang sa makuha mo yung habit, and then hanggang sa makuha mo na kaya mo na magtabi ng 10% every payday. Diba? That would be a great discipline for ourselves na makapag-save po tayo. Okay, at the same time, if you're a Christian, or in your religion, okay, na sinasabing that you have also to give back what it is to the Lord, or yung tinatawag natin tithing, that's another 10%, then isa pang mas magandang disiplina po yan. Okay, so let's move forward again. So let's take a step closer in knowing why people sometimes miss the mark. Now, it's about having the right knowledge on what to do, and the very beginning is, syempre, saving. Okay, so alam na natin saving. Baka gusto nyo i-screenshot yan. Again, saving is the portion of income not spent on current expenditures. In other words, it's the money set aside for future use and not spent immediately. Okay, so pagkatapos yan, syempre, meron naman tayong tinatawag na budgeting. Ano ba yung budgeting? Okay, what is budgeting? Okay, so here, okay, in the chat box, or if you're in Facebook Live, you can comment naman na sino ba ang magaling mag-budget? Ang mommy, ang nanay, or ang daddy, or ang tatay? Yan, nanay or tatay. Sino bang magaling mag-budget? So usually the big answer is usually ang mga mommy, 'di ba? Ang magaling mag-budget. Okay, sila ang may hawak ng kaban ng bayan. Okay. So, yun ang ginagawa nila. Okay, so kudos all to the moms na nandito na magaling mag-budget. Now, budgeting, going back, is the process of creating a plan to spend our money. Now, this spending plan is called a budget. Now, creating this spending plan allows us to determine in advance whether we will have enough money to do the things we need to do or would like to do. Kaya nga merong pagbabudget, di ba? Now, again, it is an important planning and forecasting. No, ito po yung process to help us manage our money by balancing our expense with our income. Now, budgeting is simply balancing, again, expense with our income. If they don't balance and you spend more than you make, then malaking problema po yun. Problema yun. Many people don't realize that they spend more. Kasi nga, kailangan malaman natin kung ano yung mga pinaggagastosan natin. Yung sinabi ko kanina, no, if you want to track your expenses in a 3 months time or a quarter, doon mo makikita kung saan napupunta ang pera mo. No? So, if we don't have enough money to do everything you would like to do, then you can use this planning process, no, para mag-prioritize ng spending natin and focus our money on the things that are most important to you. Then I'll just share this, what we call my money menu. Okay, my money menu. Now, my money menu, or MINU, or what we call the mandatory, important, nice to have, and useless. Okay, so let's go to the first column, which is what we call mandatory. Okay, mandatory. Now, ano ba yung mga mandatory things na ginagastos natin? Expense items. Diba? Parang, ano lang yan food, shelter, and clothing. Okay, expenses. Sa hierarchy of needs natin. Pero, ano nga, yung pinaka-mandatory, syempre, rent. Okay, bayad ng tubig, groceries. I think that is a mandatory, di ba? Expense items. And pag sinulat natin to dito, bigyan natin kung magkano yung amount noon. Then let's total that. Next, important. Okay. Ano ba yung important sa atin? Like vitamins. Okay. Health, yung ating mga gamot. Okay. What else? Wi-Fi. Okay. What else? Yung ating Globe Smart. Okay, for yung ating pambayad sa telecommunication. Okay, so I think it's important. Gas money. Okay, yan. Next. Well, again, no, ilagay natin yung amount kung magkano yung gastos na, diba? Total it. And then, nice to have. Ano ba yung mga nice to have natin? Okay, I think new clothes, new shoes, new pants. Okay. Ano ba yung mga nice to haves pa? Sabihin natin na new phone. Okay, new phone can be nice to have. Okay, then let's put the amount and then let's total. And then, okay, useless. Useless. Okay, eto, pinagdedebatihan namin to parati. What could be a useless gastos? Okay, it can be yung nakita nating bubusina ako. Syempre, minsan, Shopee, Lazada lang yan 'di ba? Uy, meron akong nakitang isang gadget from Pag-isipan natin, is this nice to have or is this a useless thing? Okay. Mabigat lang yung word na useless Pero minsan, hindi naman natin kailangan. No? Minsan, an expensive hobby can be useless. Okay, okay, hindi ko sinasabing masama. Ang sinasabi ko, it can affect our expenses. Kaya nga natin sinasabi rito. Or kunyari, bumili ka ng bagong gadget for your car. Maayos naman ng kotse mo. Okay, parang mas maganda ata bumili ako ng mugs dito Pero may ayos naman yung gulong mo, yung mugs mo from your furring. Then pinalitan mo. Okay, again, hindi ko sinasabing mali o masama because it can affect, again, our finances. Now, it can be useless. Or, if we want to buy okay, something, kunyari everyday kang signature coffee. Okay, ayoko nang sabihin yung brand kasi sumisikat na sila. Okay. 'Di ba? Ang mahal eh. Magkano ba ang isang signature brand coffee ngayon? 140 yung maliit na coffee nila or 180, okay? So, again, hindi ko sinasabing mali, pero ang sinasabi ko lang, it can be useless. It can affect our finances. Now, yung sinabi ko kanina, write down every day kung ano yung ginagastos mo. Then, kung ibabangga mo rito sa My Money Menu, now you can see kung ano yung mga importante, okay, para ma-budget natin. So, ladies and gentlemen, then, this is the trick. Now, you can see now kung saan ka mas malaking gumagastos. And then, if you're planning out to save or you have a goal of buying this thing in the future na importante, now you can delete or bawasan, okay, yung mga nakikita mong, okay, itong useless or nice to have na bagay na ito, kaya kong bawasan siya. Okay? So, pwede natin gawin yun. Okay, so moving forward. Now, aside from that, there is what we call an emergency fund. Now, usually tinatanong ko to in a live audience, what is an emergency fund? Diba? It is a fund used for emergency. Very good. Correct. Okay? Aside from saving and budgeting, again, another important part of financial planning is building an emergency fund. Now, most experts believe that you should have enough money in your emergency fund to cover at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Okay, ulitin ko 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. So, ganun po kailangan. Now, what then is an emergency fund? Ano bang emergency fund? Imagine, it's a rainy season and your roof begins to leak, okay? Or a pipe in your kitchen suddenly burst, or one of two of your tires needs to be changed. Or let's say you get sick or you lose a job, no? Earlier, pinag-usapan natin yung budgeting. Now, if your budget is just enough for your daily expenses and an emergency comes up, so sa tingin mo, where do we get the money needed to address the emergency or concern? Siyempre, dito sa sinasabi nating emergency fund. Okay? An emergency fund is a cash reserve that specifically set aside for unplanned expenses or financial emergencies. Okay. In any of these things I mentioned kanina, then you can rest assured that you have a fund stashed away to cover these emergency expenses. Okay, tanong ko, meron ba tayong emergency fund? Nakapag-start na ba tayo na at least pag-ipunan itong emergency fund na ito? Just how to start an emergency fund in the Philippines, kailangan natin, let's just adjust our monthly budget. As a mundane as it seems, no? Parang normal lang, creating a budget is an essential step in making any financial decision. Kailangan mag-budget po. Kailangan gawin na po natin. It's so simple, it needs discipline. Okay, for some, okay, hindi siya simple. Kasi nga feeling nila, dinedeprive. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're not depriving yourself. You're planning for your future. Yun ang sinasabi natin. Aim for a lower initial amount. Okay? Hindi naman kailangan malaki kagad eh. 'Di ba? Kailangan at least meron lang tayong maumpisahan para sa emergency fund natin. Cultivate the habit of saving money. Yan ang parati nating sinasabi for our clients. Okay, then aside from saving and budgeting, eto na. This is a whole new module. Minsan pag-uusapan din natin ito about debt management. Okay? Aside from saving and budgeting, another important part of financial planning is, again, building an emergency fund. And most experts believe that we should have enough money for this. Okay? And then, ano ba ang debt management? Yan nga yung sinasabi natin. Is a way to get our debt under control through how? Financial planning and budgeting. Okay? So, the goal of debt management is to lower or zero out our debt. Kasi hindi tayo makakapagplano kung meron tayong mga unwanted utang. Now, there are two loans, okay, or debts. It's either a good debt or a bad debt. A good debt is something na kunyari nag-loan tayo that ang tawag dito, that adds up to our investments, financials. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-loan tayo, kumikita pa rin tayo. Or it is being used for our investment or our business. So maganda po yun. Bad debt is yung mga excess debts or loans in credit card. Okay, nag-loan tayo sa loan shark or even yung sinasabi natin 5-6. Okay, so alam natin kasi it will eat up our income. Yun po yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. Kaya kailangan natin ayusin kung ano yung sinasabi natin about debt management. So if we have debts, isa lang ibig sabihin yan. We don't have to run away with our debts. We have to face it, and at the same time, let's do what is right and ayusin natin ito. Kumbaga, there is always a way for us to do all of these things. Okay? So, another topic that is very close to our hearts in Akma Manulife is risk planning. No? But before anything else, we're talking about financial planning and saving and investing. We must not overlook the importance of protecting what we have worked so hard to build. And very unpredictable po ang buhay. No? It's imperative to shield our wealth from unforeseen circumstances. Now, financial planning or financial risk planning refers to the process of identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks that could impact an individual's financial well-being. Now, ito pong pinag-uusap, itong topic na po na ito, no, it involves taking proactive measures to protect against potential loss and ensure financial stability. Okay? So, insurance po ang pinag-uusapan natin. What are the 3 common risks to financial freedom? Una, dying too soon. We don't know kung kailan tayo, quote-unquote, yung sinasabi ng karamihan, kukunin ni Lord. Diba? Kailan tayo kukunin ni Lord. So at least, kailangan mapaghandaan natin. Dying too soon will lead us crippled if we don't leave anything for our family or our spouse or our children. Okay, next. Becoming critically ill or disabled. Now, this is also hard kasi kung hindi natin inaalagaan ng ating sarili, nagkasakit tayo, okay, or, talagang our body's built for getting sick, huwag naman sana, one grabing sakit can wipe our whole entire finances, our emergency fund, our savings, okay, it can be wiped out. No? Top 3, killers ng Pilipino, heart attack, stroke, or cancer. Wow, yun na yun. And also, living too long. Living too long, syempre, sino bang ayaw ng, di ba, mabuhay ng mahaba. But at the same time, it entails us, syempre, para tayo po ay, ang tawag dito, kailangan may panggastos pa rin tayo. Okay. So again, dying too soon, becoming critically ill or disabled, or living too long. Yan ang 3 bagay na pwedeng mag-fault din sa ating finances. Now, if we die too soon, 'di ba? we need something na to catch up para sa mga panggastos natin. Just a quick reminder for us on how to compute for an adequate life insurance. Okay? That's what we call a clean-up fund. A clean-up fund. Now, syempre, pag tayo po ay namatay, okay, or taken out of the picture, okay, meron tayong final expense, okay, na sinasabi natin, huling gastos, no, about, syempre, tayo po ay ililibing. There's the funeral expense. Ibuburol tayo or ibuburol tayo, either ikikremate tayo or we have a lot somewhere in the cemetery, diba? So we have our last medical expenses from the hospital. Okay, we have our debts. Okay, ibig sabihin ng utang natin hindi yan na nababaon together with or naililibing together with us, and syempre yung other final expenses. Okay, so ito po kailangan nating protektahan. So ibig sabihin, this one can be answered by our life insurance. 'Di ba? So meron ditong naka-footnote, medical expenses or hospitalization costs typically refer to the final expenses associated with medical care during a hospital stay prior to the person's passing. Now, quickly na sabihin natin. So, Coach Manzo, paano ko ba malalaman kung magkano ang kailangan ko? Now, simple lamang po. Okay? What you're having right now or your income right now times 12. Okay? So, kunyari monthly mo is, kunyari ang sweldo mo is 50,000 or 50,000. So, times 12 and then times 5. Okay, that could be your basic life insurance plan. Kung magkano. Kunyari, you need 3 million for all of these things. Okay. So, ano ba yung sinasabi ko? Your income, magkano income mo, times 12, that would be 1 year, and times 5. Okay. If something happens to you, at least your family will be provided for even if you're no longer around. So, kunyari, ganun pa rin yung lifestyle nila. Okay, nakakain pa rin sila ng 3 beses sa isang araw. Nakakapag-school pa rin ng mga bata. Okay, nakakapag-aircon pa rin sila. Something to that effect. Even if the breadwinner is not around. Di ba ang ganda nun? So, why 5? So, the 5 years is, sinasabi namin, yung at least yung 5 years, it is enough para makapag-transition ang ating mga mahal sa buhay. Okay? Makapag-transition ang ating mga mahal sa buhay. Actually, usually, 3 years is enough. Yung another 2 years would be parang for inflation already. Okay? So, at least, and I hope na meron tayong natutunan for that, no? How to compute for our basic life insurance. Kasi importante po yun. Okay, aside from that, alam naman natin the cost of getting ill. Now, ito, sinasabi ko, what is the ano ba ang pinaka magandang hotel na pinagstayan mo? Okay, pinakamagandang hotel na pinagstayan mo. Okay, Intercontinental Hotel ba yan? The Manila Hotel? Okay, Diamond Hotel? Okay, so Dusit Hotel ba yan? Okay, or pumunta ka sa ibang bansa. Yan ba yung mga yon? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ang pinakamahal siguro, hindi ko sinasabi maganda na hotel na pinagstayan nyo is the hospital bed or the hospital or inside the hospital. Binibiro ko lang po yan, pero I want you to see that the expense of getting critically ill kung hindi tayo nagpa-check up or kung hindi natin inaalagaan ang sarili natin. You know, the top 3 killers ng mga Pilipino, ito pong facts na to ay galing sa Department of Health. You can Google this, you can get this facts naman, di ba? Heart attack or heart disease or cancer, okay, or tawag dito, or stroke. Yan po yan, top 3 killers of the Filipino people. And the cause of getting sick, no, na sinasabi natin na kailangan natin gastusin para gumaling tayo. Number one, heart attack, 978,000. Stroke, that's 1.8 million. And lung cancer, or cancer per se, 2.7. No, hindi ko na iisa-isahin to kung ano yung mga kailangan bayaran, etc. But again, we have summed it up, everything for you. So again, let's do the math. Okay? That's the high cost of getting critically ill. Now, sinasabi natin, can we mapoprotektahan ba natin ng sarili natin dito? I think yes. Okay? This is another fact. More than 65% of all bankruptcies are tied to costs due to medical issues. Being sick can hurt your wallet. Definitely. Na-hurt bang wallet natin? No, it will hurt our bank. Okay, our savings. Okay, it will be wiped out. So alam natin, kailangan talaga natin protektahan ng sarili natin. Now, let's protect our income. Let's protect our families. Kasi importante yun eh. If something happens to us, if we die too soon, okay, if we become critically ill, okay, even for our retirement, ladies and gentlemen, sinasabi ko nga, no, it can do us worse. Okay, so again, last third step, okay, know how to bridge the gap. So, sinasabi natin, pakita natin kung ano yung gusto natin, kung anong meron tayo, at pangatlo, paano natin i-bridge yung gap, paano tayo makakapunta sa goal natin. Bridging the gap in financial planning refers to addressing the difference between our current financial situation and our desired financial goals. So kung babalikan natin yung ating goal worksheet, makikita natin yung naka-red for the last two columns. Okay, current savings towards goal and additional savings needed per plan or month, or kung magkano yung pwede natin ma-save para dun sa goals natin. Okay? How to bridge the gap. Yun yun. Okay, so alam naman natin, okay, one goals na pwede natin pagplanuhan, syempre, our kids' education. Okay, the PSA said among the top reasons cited for not attending school is the high cost of education or financial problem. Now, sinasabi natin dito kasi importante na mapag-ipunan natin ang edukasyon ng mga anak natin. Okay, I really just want to emphasize that kasi it is also a form na malaman natin paano natin mabibridge yung gap, paano natin mapupunan yung ating mga pangangailangan. So again, education planning is important. Another thing is, okay, our retirement. So, facts about retirement. Sabi nga ni George Foreman, the question isn't at what age I want to retire. It's at what income. If we live too long, we need to have income still, or kailangan yung money will work for us para may kumita tayo. The harsh reality is that 8 out of 10 Filipinos age 60 and above, and in many cases retirees, do not have sufficient pension to fully cover their living expenses. Kailangan nating pagplanuhan ng ating kinabukasan ng ating retirement. That's why education in retirement is also very valuable to us. And also, we need to grow our money, no? To bridge the gap. We need to grow our money. So, eto na yun. Just bigyan po kayo ng quick tips on how to grow our money. So, investing refers to the process, okay, of allocating money or resources with expecting to generate a return of profit over time. Ang primary objective po ng investment is to grow wealth and achieve financial goals. Investors make informed decision based on their sinasabi nating risk tolerance, okay, investment horizons and financial objectives. They analyze various investment options asset of potential risk and rewards and make choices that align with their individual circumstances. Importante po na makita natin everything involves risk and the value of investments can also fluctuate. Kasi nga, ang mga factors nito is with regards with the market condition, the economy, okay, individual company performances, okay, yan po ang mga malaking impact on our investment. Kaya, importante po na to look and always trust experts na pwedeng tumulong po sa atin. So, here are some simple ideas on how we can grow our money. Okay, so again, ito simple lamang po ito. Simple interest versus compounding interest. So alam naman natin, if it's simple interest, hindi talaga tayo kikita. Okay, versus compounding interest, meaning yung growth ng pera natin, if we do this compoundingly, okay, kumbaga umiikot pati yung interest natin, then our money grows. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's as simple as that. And also, the high cost of waiting. Now, this, kung makikita natin, I hope it's clear to us. Okay, so si Mr. Save Early, he saves 20,000, started at age 22 na mag-save siya ng 20,000 annually for the next 6 years. Okay, so nakapag-tabi siya, iniwan niya, at ito ay kumikita ng 12% per annum. At look, iniwan niya yung pera niya, pagdating ng age 62, nakikita natin, no? Kumita siya ng 9.5. How about Mr. Save Later? Si Mr. Save Later naman, okay, after mag-save ni Mr. Early, doon pa lang nag-save si Mr. Save Later. Ganun din, 20,000 for the next 6 years. And then, makikita natin the difference kung magkano ang kanyang nakita against 9.5 versus 4.8. So, simple lang. Mr. Save Early, by age 62, his savings would be 9.5. While Mr. Save Later, by age 62, his saving would be around 4.8. And that's a whopping difference of 4.7 million. Wow, 4.7 million. Ladies and gentlemen, ganun po kalaki. Okay, because time is of the essence. Okay, the more na tumatagal ang pera natin sa isang kumikita na maayos na interest, the more na po tayo kikita. Okay? That's tip. And then, sample investments na pwede nating paglagyan ng pera natin. Now, kanina, nung na-share ko sa inyo that mostly Filipinos hindi marunong mag-invest or kakulangan sa kung saan ko pa pwedeng ilagay ang pera ko. Kasi natatakot ako, baka ma-scam ako, baka mawala ang pera ko. Okay? Now, these investments need someone that that someone can guide you in doing this. And syempre, yun nga, sinasabi natin, there is syempre yung risk tolerance natin. But the sample investments can give us a chance to grow our money. Now, ano-ano ba itong mga to? Number one, variable unit link. Okay, that you can also invest using this product, no, with only 1,000 pesos to start with. How about bonds or government bonds? No, you can invest 10,000. Okay, para dito, and we could just ask for a financial company that would help us invest on this type of investment. Third, yung sinasabi nating mutual funds. Now, how much money we can invest? As low as 5,000 pesos for mutual funds. Another is UITFs. Okay? So, magkano pwede natin na-invest dito for UITFs? Actually, as low as 1,500 to 5,000 pesos. Okay? Guys, ano ba to? Monthly ba to? Hindi. Single pay that you can save for that. And also stocks. Okay? As low as 5,000. Now, ang sinasabi natin dito, you need someone, an expert to help you, okay, para sa pag-invest sa mga bagay na ito. And there is what we call, again, yung risk tolerance na sinasabi ko. Okay, what is investment risk tolerance? I like to read this because this is important. Risk tolerance is the amount of risk we're willing to invest when investing our money. Investments for beginners will pose risk and challenges. Totoo po yun. So you should know your risk tolerance beforehand. Now, this can help us prepare for the worst case scenarios and manage our finances efficiently. So, ladies and gentlemen, ang pag-invest po ng inyong pera, kailangan ang tag dito, pagplanuhan po na mabuti, maghinay po tayo, malaman natin yung risk tolerance natin. Kasi tatlo lang po yan. It's either we are conservative, we are moderate, or we are aggressive in investing our money. Okay, nasan po ba tayo dito? Okay, so if we do this, malalaman natin, okay? So, uunahin natin just to recap. First is we have to earn our income. Then we should make smart goals. Then after that, we should create a budget. And that's the first two things that we should do. After that, we should have to get our health insurance and life insurance, okay? Para maprotektahan natin yung future natin at meron tayong maiwan if something happens to us for our beneficiaries. Sino ba ito? Our spouse or our children or our loved ones, sinasabi natin. Then after that, we should zero our debts, bad debts to be precise and exact. And again, after that, we could also build na our emergency fund. So etong naka-red na to na nakikita natin, that is very important to us. And then after that, we can now check kung saan pa pwedeng lumago ang pera natin. Doon lang po tayo pupunta with regards with our investment. All right? So, last couple of slides. Are we prepared for this? Okay? Meron ba tayo? Kanina ko pa sinasabi, dapat meron nagtuturo sa atin. Diba? Are we prepared? Yes or no? Do we know how? Alam po ba natin? At the same time, okay, we need somebody's help. Okay? Let's talk to an expert, okay, on how to grow and protect our hard-earned income. Talk to an expert, okay? You can do it. You cannot do it alone. Collaborating with an expert can provide valuable insights or personalized strategies and professional guidance tailored to your specific financial goals and circumstances. A financial license, okay, not just a financial advisor, a licensed financial advisor can assist you in so many ways. No, when seeking a financial advisor, consider their credentials, experience, and reputation. You know, building a trusting relationship with a financial advisor can provide you with the support, support, expertise, and guidance na kailangan to navigate the complexities of financial planning and increase our chances of achieving our goals. No? Kaya nga po, financial planning begins with a financial consultant that is equipped with the knowledge and tools to give us an executable plan to reach our specific goals. Dito po, with Akma, no, our company, our consultants provide us with unbiased advice. Totoo po yan, so that you can finally have a financial plan that is tailored, fit, only for you. Kaya nga, ito po ay Akma para sa iyo. So, what we do, we should share and we should care for everybody else. So again, marami pong salamat for this time and thank you for having us today, no? So part 2 po ng ating financial planning made easy. And I hope aside from that, marami po tayong natutunan. You can reach us, okay, through our messaging, by messaging us through our social media and Facebook. Okay, thank you for joining Akma Insurance Agency Facebook Live. We are live every Monday to Saturday at 8 a.m. on Akma's Facebook page. Please like and follow our Facebook and YouTube pages for latest updates and content. And don't forget to start your day every day with a daily dose of Sales Cafe. Now, this is Coach Banjo Acuña for Akma General Insurance Agency. Have an amazing day. God bless everyone.